Did the impossible just happen at Incheon Airport? Why were thousands of fans crying as Jungkook ran toward Taehyung and pulled him into an emotional embrace? What really happened between these two BTS members after months apart? And why is the entire fandom calling it the reunion of the decade? Don't miss a single detail, keep reading, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more breaking updates from the BTS universe. It began as an ordinary morning at Incheon International Airport, but what unfolded within the next few minutes shook the entire K-pop world to its core. Cameras were flashing, fans were screaming, and the air was thick with tension and anticipation. No one could have predicted that this ordinary airport arrival would turn into one of the most emotional reunions in BTS history. Taehyung, dressed in a simple yet elegant black coat and cap, stepped out of the arrival gate with his signature calm aura. His steps were unhurried, yet every movement carried a quiet confidence, the kind that only Kim Taehyung could exude. Reporters rushed forward, microphones extended, while fans shouted his name through tears and trembling voices. "Taehyung, welcome back!" echoed from every corner. But before anyone could even process what was happening, another familiar figure appeared through the crowd: Jungkook. Dressed casually, hoodie up, mask on, he walked quickly, almost running, his eyes fixed on one person only. The crowd parted as if the universe itself was holding its breath. For a moment it felt like time froze. And then it happened. Jungkook stopped right in front of Taehyung. Their eyes met. And in that instant, years of friendship, distance, and unspoken emotions collided in one silent heartbeat. The cheers faded into whispers, the cameras lowered, and the world seemed to pause. Without a word, Jungkook pulled Taehyung into a tight embrace, his arms wrapping around him as if he'd never let go again. Taehyung froze for a split second, then smiled, that soft, genuine smile that always melts the hearts of millions, and hugged him back. It wasn't a polite or staged hug. It was real, raw, deeply human, the kind of embrace that speaks louder than any words ever could. Fans around them began to cry, some shouting "Taehyung reunited," while others simply covered their mouths in disbelief. Was this just a friendly gesture between old friends? Or was there something deeper? Something that even the cameras couldn't capture? The emotional weight in that moment was almost tangible. Jungkook's hand lingered on Taehyung's back, patting him gently, while Taehyung whispered something inaudible into Jungkook's ear. Whatever it was, it made Jungkook smile, that rare, warm smile that fans hadn't seen in months. People around them could feel it, the bond, the connection, the unspoken understanding that transcends words. These two, who once shared stages, laughter, and tears under the blinding lights of the world's biggest arenas, were now just two friends meeting again. Away from the noise, away from the cameras. Yet somehow the entire planet was watching. Social media exploded instantly. Within minutes, Taehyung reunion was trending worldwide. Fans shared clips of the hug, analyzing every second, every glance, every whispered word. Some said Jungkook's eyes looked glassy, as if he was holding back tears. Others pointed out the way Taehyung gently patted his back. A silent reassurance, a message that said, "I'm here." But what led to this emotional reunion? Was it planned? Or was Jungkook's appearance at the airport a surprise? Sources close to the scene claimed that no one expected Jungkook to be there. He had arrived quietly, without management, just to welcome Taehyung home. That alone spoke volumes. And when the fans realized what they were witnessing, many couldn't contain their emotions. Some shouted, "Welcome back, Taehyung," while others sobbed uncontrollably, holding banners and handmade letters. A few even said it reminded them of BTS's early days, when every reunion, every touch, every smile carried the power of brotherhood and love that transcended fame. Taehyung, ever the gentleman, bowed to the fans, his hand still resting lightly on Jungkook's shoulder. The cameras captured the moment perfectly. Two silhouettes surrounded by flashes of light, yet standing in their own quiet world, untouched by chaos. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't for show. It was genuine emotion laid bare as they walked together toward the exit, side by side, their steps synchronized naturally, as if no time had passed between them. Jungkook reached out to adjust Taehyung's bag strap, and Taehyung chuckled softly, a small moment that fans later called the most healing thing on the internet. The reunion scene was short, perhaps only a few minutes, but its impact was eternal. For ARMY, it wasn't just about two idols meeting. It was about the bond that defines BTS. Love, loyalty, and unbreakable friendship. It reminded everyone of why millions fell in love with them in the first place. Not because of perfection, but because of the purity of their hearts. Online theories began to swirl. Was Jungkook there because of something special happening soon? Were they preparing for a new project together? Or was it simply an emotional, spontaneous act of love and friendship? No one knew for sure, and maybe that's what made it even more beautiful. Because sometimes not everything needs an explanation. Sometimes it's enough to feel. And that's exactly what this moment gave, feeling. The kind that lingers long after the video stopped playing, the kind that makes your heart ache in the best way possible. Fans around the world flooded the internet with messages like, "This is why I love BTS," and "Seeing Jungkook run to Taehyung made me cry." Even international media picked up the story, calling it the most heartwarming reunion in K-pop. Back at the airport, Taehyung turned for one last wave before disappearing into the car beside Jungkook. Their silhouettes side by side became the image of the day, a symbol of friendship that refuses to fade, even under the weight of time, fame, and distance. As the sun set over Incheon, fans lingered outside, still crying, still smiling, because they knew they had just witnessed something rare, a real moment in a world built on performance. And maybe that's what makes BTS so special. Beneath the glamour, beneath the fame, beneath the lights, they're still just boys who love each other like family. So what really happened that morning at Incheon? Was it just a simple greeting? Or the beginning of something bigger? Something the world doesn't yet understand? One thing is certain. It wasn't just an airport arrival. It was a reminder that even in silence, love speaks loudest. Keep your eyes open, ARMY, because if this emotional reunion is any sign of what's coming next, the best chapter of BTS might be just beginning. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more breaking BTS stories, because this is just the start. The car doors closed softly, but the echoes of that moment lingered long after Taehyung and Jungkook disappeared from sight. Fans pressed their faces against the airport windows, tears streaming down their cheeks, unwilling to believe the scene was really over. Even the reporters, usually so composed, stood frozen, unsure whether to chase the story or simply let the emotion wash over them. Something profound had just happened, something words could barely capture. Inside the car, the world outside seemed to blur into streaks of light and color. Jungkook sat beside Taehyung, their hands resting quietly on their laps, the silence between them heavy yet comforting. For a few seconds, neither spoke. The noise of flashing cameras and crying fans was gone, replaced by the steady hum of the road beneath them. Then Jungkook turned his head slightly and whispered, "You really made everyone cry out there." Taehyung laughed softly, a sound that broke the tension in an instant. "Including you?" he teased, his voice low but warm. Jungkook didn't answer right away. Instead, he looked out the window, hiding a small smile. "Maybe," he said finally. "It's been a long time, Hyung." That single line, simple, almost casual, carried the weight of everything they hadn't said for months. Distance, schedules, responsibilities, all of it had kept them apart. And yet, in that small moment, the bond that connected them resurfaced as strong as ever. Taehyung nodded, his eyes soft. "Too long," he replied. "But I'm home now." For armies watching the clips online, that unspoken reunion was enough to send hearts into overdrive. Hashtags like #TaeKookReunion and #WelcomeHomeTaehyung trended across multiple countries. On fan forums, people dissected every frame, pointing out Jungkook's trembling hands, Taehyung's reassuring smile, the exact second their eyes met. Every detail was treated like poetry. "Did you see how Jungkook ran?" one fan